The post-15 agenda for the Sustainability Development Goals is about following up and following on from Martin. It's about implementing, but it's a highly aspirational in content, calls for robust, participatory, inclusive, transparent and integrated processes for monitoring and review. There's a great deal of emphasis on the voluntary nature of these processes and the necessity of accounting to the citizens at local, national, regional and international levels. I think there's an acknowledgement that given the complexity of reviewing 17 goals, there needs to be very simple, robust frameworks put in place using existing forums such as regional forums, established ones, or setting up new ones, while at the same time recognising the individual needs and capacities of each nation. To some extent, any discussion of follow-up and review is still very general, as the key indicators by which goals will be measured are still being worked on and should be released in March next year. In general terms, we understand each indicator will be assessed for its feasibility, its suitability and relevance, and it's suggested that there will be 2 indicators for each target. If robust and transparent processes of review are to be put in place, developing countries will require a great deal of support when it comes to data collection, analysis and technological systems. This is particularly important when you look at it in the context of 15 years and given the rapid rates of change in processes of compiling and analysing data. There is an acknowledgement of the role of the UN and wealthier countries will have to play in supporting the least developed countries. The agenda rightly notes the importance of the contributions of Indigenous people, women and civil society in general in any genuine process of review. They're emphasising the fact that it can get stuck at top levels, but we need to hear what the people on the ground, how they're responding to it. Taking all these factors and many more, the implementation of the Sustainability Development Goals will require comprehensive strategic planning. The implementation of these goals will depend on many things, including the willingness of nation states to cooperate and share best practice, of the UN putting systems in place to support developing countries, of establishing simple, well-structured and regular review processes. It's thought that extensive oversight will be exercised by the high-level political forum, which has been established by the UN and which will meet every 4 years, specifically to look at assessment, review and oversight. Given the aspirational nature of this, we have to be aware of the potential problems, and they include finance, which is described by one commentator as the $1 trillion question. If there's not adequate financing, much of this won't happen. Another potential problem is how we go about engaging public-private partnerships and attracting public financing, because without public financing, again, it won't be able to move as fast as we would like. The qualitative assessment of some targets such as governance, migration and mobility and the environment is very difficult. An organisation, the Future UN Development Systems, suggests that these targets refer to concepts for which there are no indicators or no internationally agreed definition, so much work will have to happen there. In the end, much depends on the willingness and commitment of nation states to implementing the Sustainability Development Goals and agreeing to a rigorous and honest process of monitoring and review. So we await the indicators in March and we'll get a clearer picture of how these will be reviewed and monitored. Thank you very much, everyone.